Hello, Scorpio, Sun, Moon babies, rising as well as Venus. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your prediction for June 2026. It is a collective general reading. So as the messages come through today, take what fits, leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means it's meant for someone else. And please check your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. And if you're not sure what those placements are, in the description box of this video is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. With all of that said now, let's begin. Tapping into the Scorpio collective now, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What does Scorpio need to know for June 2026? What do they need to know for June? Let's get one more shuffle here. Thank you. In the heart of your spread, we have the Six of Wands. In the top row, we have the Star, the Ace of Swords, and the Eight of Cups. Flanking the Six of Wands is the Two of Cups and Judgment. The bottom row, we have the Fool, we have Justice, and we have the Queen of Cups. That's your energy there, whether you are masculine or feminine. Sneak peek now into July. Can't believe I'm saying July. Seven of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Four of Cups. That leaves the Nine of Cups, King of Swords, Seven of Wands, and Five of Swords here at the bottom of the deck. Okay. It's going to be a juicy reading, I can tell already. So let's begin to clarify. I'm using the After Tarot deck. If you're not familiar with this deck, the images in it are a bit different, and so it does alter or change the meaning of the cards, and we'll go through them as necessary for your reading today. With all of that said now, let's begin to clarify, my friends. Let's clarify this, please, for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements for June 2026. We are clarifying the Star, Ace of Swords, Eight of Cups, Two of Cups, Six of Wands, Judgment, the Fool, Justice, and the Queen of Cups for the Scorpio collective. One more shuffle here. Thank you. That was the Queen of Pentacles wanted to show themselves. The Star is clarified by the Devil. The Ace of Swords is clarified by the Three of Swords. The Eight of Cups is clarified by the Six of Pentacles. The Two of Cups is clarified by Judgment. Six of Wands is clarified by Four of Cups. Judgment is clarified by Two of Pentacles. The Fool is clarified by the Five of Pentacles. Justice is clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. And the Queen of Cups is clarified by the Knight of Wands. Looking into July now. The Moon, the Ace of Wands, and the Five of Cups. That leaves Temperance, King of Cups, Five of Swords here at the bottom of the deck. Okay. I don't want to say that I've tapped into a group of Scorpios where you're down with love, but it does seem here that you are not interested in a connection. And I don't know for some of you, because again, it's a collective general reading, if it's a particular connection you're no longer interested in, or in a type of connection. There's a feeling here of, I want connection in my life, professional, platonic, or romantic, but it needs to be emotionally fulfilling, and there needs to be reciprocity. And if it's not emotionally fulfilling and it's not reciprocal in nature, then I don't want it in my life. You know, if the workplace is not going to treat me fairly, I don't want to be there. If the friends are not there when I need them, but they're only there when they need me, I don't want them. If it's a love partner who's in and out or inconsistent or non-committal, I don't want them. So I do want victory, if I can speak for you on your behalf, if you don't mind. I do want victory in connection, but I don't want connections that leave me emotionally depleted. I would rather be alone. I find victory in being alone rather than being in the company of people who don't really appreciate what I bring to the table. So Six of Wands is wanting victory, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But the Four of Cups is, I would rather be alone than accept a cup that is not nourishing to me. In the top row, we have the Star to the Devil, the Ace of Swords to the Three of Swords, and the Eight of Cups to the Six of Pentacles. The Star, you've healed some kind of toxic pattern within yourself, and by doing that, the collective itself is healing a toxic pattern. The toxic pattern here that existed was, I will take anything or anyone in my life. I need attention. I need love. I need my ego stroked. I would rather be in bad company than be in no company. And that was a pattern of like toxic codependency. In the After Tarot deck, you're healing this. Typically what we see in the Devil card are two individuals who are shackled to one another, shackled to the podium that the devil presides over. But in the After Tarot deck, they're freed. So whatever that toxic pattern there was for you, and I think for a lot of you, there was like a codependency that was toxic in nature, or some part of shadow side of yourself when it came to commitments and relationships and partnerships. That's the aspect of you that you've healed. Ace of Swords to the Three of Swords. You found your truth. And your truth, if you haven't found it yet, you're finding it in the month of June. I'd rather be alone than be in bad company. And that's a wound here that you're healing. Eight of Cups to the Six of Pentacles. If it leaves me feeling emotionally vacant, feeling emotionally neglected, feeling emotionally abandoned, then I will gladly walk away from that connection. In the After Tarot deck, the individual is walking away from what I call the breadcrumbing merchant. Flanking the Six of Wands to the Four of Cups is Two of Cups to Judgment. There's someone here returning to you. It could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be a lover. Okay, someone at some point in time you had that toxic attachment style with. This person is returning and you're not quite sure if you want to engage with them or not because you're not sure if they've changed. You only know that you've changed. Like you're healing your toxic pattern. The Fool to the Five of Pentacles, Justice to the Nine of Pentacles, and then the Queen of Cups to the Knight of Wands. So let's see where we go with this message. Six of Wands. Clarify the Six of Wands. Sorry for the phone interruptions. I'm here alone today, so my blink cameras are on, and with everyone doing gardening work around me, all of my neighbors, the camera keeps going off, so I apologize for that sound if you can hear it. Clarify the Six of Wands here, please, for Scorpio for June 2026. Clarify that Six of Wands. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Six of Wands is clarified by the Eight of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Five of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Nine of Swords. Let me clarify the Four of Cups there. But the feeling I get here is after a lot of thought and a lot of consideration, like almost ad nauseum, right? And that Eight of Swords. I've decided I want to align with people that have the same type of ideals or values when it comes to their connection with me. Not that we have to have the same political beliefs or we have to like the same cuisine or anything like that. When it comes to the friendship or the relationship or the romantic partnership, we have to both be on the same page. And if not, Five of Pentacles, I will gladly walk away from it. The Four of Cups is clarified by the Sun, the Lovers, and the Two of Wands. I will choose people who choose me. This is radical acceptance of self. I might call your video that. This is radical acceptance of self. So you've healed a huge wound here, and you will choose people who choose you, who choose to move forward in that Two of Wands with you to build or nurture a relationship. Let's clarify. I'm not going to clarify the Star to the Devil because I feel like that's a little redundant and I don't want to waste your time because obviously you've healed a pattern here. And I'm not going to clarify that Ace of Swords to the Three of Swords because again, I just feel like this is that's your Tower moment and now you're healing the pattern. And same with the Eight of Cups to the Six of Pentacles. I do want to clarify this Two of Cups to see who's coming in. Sometimes, or I should say typically, Judgment talks about a return. But we'll see. It could be a new connection for some of you, and for others of you, it'll be a return. But there definitely is the appearance of a connection that you are evaluating or reevaluating. Clarify that Two of Cups for Scorpio in June. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Two of Cups is clarified by the Ten of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Page of Swords. I do believe this is someone that you either had an ending with or you had a Ten of Swords experience with. Not all relationships end with a Ten of Swords moment. You'd be surprised. And I think a lot of you know what I'm talking about when I say that. There are lots of times where we feel wounded, hurt, betrayed, and then through not just, love for the connection or love for the person, but it's also a love for ourselves where we're able to forgive the individual, we're able to forgive ourselves, for maybe our part or our role in that, and then we're able to come together. I can't tell you how many Ten of Swords moments I've had with him in 6 years, and yet he's still in my life. So I don't always see that Ten of Swords as a complete and final ending, but it definitely is a very deep wound. And I'm getting a feeling here for a lot of you was betrayal. Tell me about Judgment here. One more shuffle. Thank you. Judgment is clarified by the Ten of Wands, Temperance, and the Three of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Cups. Well, there you are here again. So we do see here an individual who now wants to work with you. And I do believe that this is a past person. Didn't I see the Three of Pentacles somewhere else? I could have swore I did. But anyway, I do believe that this is someone who wants to come back in and heal a connection with you or heal that Ten of Swords moment that occurred between the two of you. Judgment. Tell me about Judgment here. So again, friend, family member, or lover that you had a Ten of Swords moment with. Clarified judgment. One more shuffle. Thank you. Judgment is clarified by the Three of Swords, the Seven of Cups, and the Moon. Bottom of the deck, Nine of Cups. You're not sure if you still want this person in your life because of the heartbreak, because of the betrayal. You're very confused and you're very emotional when this person reaches out to you in the month of June. There's a lot of suppressed sadness. There's a lot on the surface, but there's also a lot suppressed as well. Clarify that Two of Pentacles. Clarify the Two of Pentacles. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Two of Pentacles is clarified by the Two of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Page of Pentacles. If you don't want to hear this, you're welcome to click off of the video. It seems here that you do make a decision. In the After Tarot deck, the decision here is made. The Ace of Swords, you're going back to that realization that you have, that you're willing to extend an olive branch to this person. You're willing to open up communication with this person. You're willing to revisit the partnership or the relationship with this person, provided they show up differently, because you're now showing up differently. You don't have that toxic attachment style. It needs to be reciprocal in nature or you're not interested. The Fool. Tell me about the Fool. Tell me about the Fool here. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Fool is clarified by the King of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Tower. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Swords. Remember, we had the Tower here. So this would be the person who has contacted you. You've deliberated about whether or not you want to take them back. It looks like there's a discussion here that takes place. Your decision here appears to be, and don't ever allow tarot to dictate what you do, but for most of you, there's new ground rules here at play. And if this person is willing to agree to them, you're willing to move forward with them. In the After Tarot deck, the individual is coming out from being out in lack. They're coming out of that facility there, or that institution, or that building there, with a big old sack of coin. Clarify that Five of Pentacles. So it's like you are giving this friend or this family member or this lover another chance, another try. Tell me more about that. One more shuffle. Thank you. Five of Pentacles is clarified by the Five of Wands, the Nine of Wands, and the Ten of Swords. That's that person you had the Ten of Swords moment with. So you are trying this again with this person, but there are new rules here, new rules of engagement to this connection. It needs to be reciprocal. It needs to be respectful. It needs to be loving. They need to invest in it as much as you are investing in it. And if they choose to agree, which appears here this person does, then you're moving forward with this reconnection. What I find interesting here is how very straightforward and no nonsense and blunt you are, that if any point in time they revert back, or the relationship reverts back to being disrespectful or non-reciprocal, you're willing to right the wrong by walking away and becoming single, free, and independent of the connection. So you are putting this person on notice. And we'll draw some cards afterwards for their energy. Justice. Clarify Justice. One more shuffle. Thank you. And I don't think that you're this way now, like just with this person. I feel like this is across the board with all connections. Justice. Clarified by Ace of Cups. That's the truth. Five of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. The moment I feel like you are manipulating me, or you're gaslighting me, or you're lying to me, any kind of trickster energy that negatively like impacts my peace, I'm out. That's what I feel like you're telling this person. Obviously, you're going to use your own words, but that's the feeling I get here. Clarify that Nine of Pentacles. One more shuffle. Thank you. Nine of Pentacles is clarified by King of Wands, Ten of Cups, and the Fool card. I do think you're giving this person another try, whoever they are. I think you do want victory and success and happiness with this person, but I think you're putting, this is a very no BS Scorpio collective here. You're not lying. You're not bluffing. You're not strong-arming. There's no ultimatum here. You did this to me. I am not giving you the benefit of the doubt. No, 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 no. I'm giving you the opportunity to make right on this by showing up differently. These are my rules of engagement. I'm serious. If this happens again, or I see any of that old behavior, then I'm walking away. I'm not going to be unreasonable, right? I'm not going to be a dictator here where you say you're going to call at 5 o'clock, and if you call at 5:05, I'm out of your life. Like, I'm not going to be a dictator about this, but I want reciprocity and I want respect. I think this connection was lacking respect. And some of you may not want to hear that. But when someone truly respects you, they respect your time and they respect your efforts. And they don't make you wait 3 hours for them to show up, or they don't make you wait 3 days for them to call you back. So there was something here about respect. I'm going to pull some cards on that for you too, because that's really one of the cornerstones of a relationship, of any relationship. If you don't respect your boss or they don't respect you, what kind of, work relationship are you going to have if you don't respect your clients and they don't respect you? Same thing for friends, family members and lovers. There needs to be respect. There has to be a cornerstone of a connection. Clarify that Queen of Cups here. One more shuffle. Thank you. Queen of Cups is clarified by 5 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Wands. Bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit. Very interesting. You are wanting reciprocity, 6 of Pentacles with this person, but you're preparing yourself for what you believe will be the eventuality that they will not be able to play by your new rules. So it's like, I'm waiting now. And I don't mean waiting like watching the clock waiting. It's like, time will tell now how they show up. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm preparing for the worst because of this person's track record. Clarify the Knight of Wands. Clarify that Knight of Wands. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Knight of Wands is clarified by Strength, Page of Wands, and the Star card. Bottom of the deck, 7 of Wands. If this person were to like cross your boundaries or anything like that, you're fully ready to like defend yourself. You're not going to roll over like you did last time. There's nothing to this. This is standing strong. I said what I said. I'm healed. I have healed an attachment style, not just to you, but to all connections. And I'm willing to engage. But again, there needs to be respect and reciprocity here. If not, I'll walk away. And then I just think you're kind of waiting to see how things develop with this person. In July, you're assessing them. For me, Queens exist in the present because they process the past. And you seem to be assessing this person. 7 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, again, an assessment queen there. And the 4 of Cups. Let's clarify that further. Clarify that further, please. Thank you. Knight of Swords, Temperance. Can I get one more on that, please? One more shuffle. Thank you. And the Empress. Bottom of the deck, Wheel of Fortune. Clarify that further, please. One more shuffle. Thank you. This is clarified by 2 of Cups, Page of Swords. 2 cards came out. King of Swords, that's that person. They don't have to be an air sign. They don't have to be a masculine. And the 3 of Cups. So your assessment in July is so far so good. You're not going overboard, though. I have to tell you that. It's not like you're not the same Scorpio you were before that 10 of Swords moment. Bottom of deck, Hangman. You have been enlightened. So you're not chasing. They're not chasing. You know what I mean? There's no runner-chaser feeling here. There is, I show up this way, and they're reciprocal. They're matching your energy. Whatever you put out, they're going to return to you. I don't see this person taking a lot of initiative because I think this person is very scared to have that experience with you again. Because again, I think they're taking you very seriously here. That if this messes up, you're done this time. So the feeling here seems to be, I'm matching your energy. And your assessment, again, and I don't want to tell you what to do, seems to be that you're very happy with how things are progressing. The 2 of Cups, there's embracing. So there might be some more physical intimacy between the 2 of you. Or with that Page of Swords to the 2 of Cups, there could be more like heated, intimate conversations, either on the phone or through text messaging. But there seems to be happiness about this reunion or this reconciliation with whoever this person is. And if it's not a romantic partner, then there's just more of communication, dialogue between you and this person, this friend, or this family member. Moon to the 3 of Wands to the 5 of Cups. This is interesting. This is what you don't see coming. It seems to be in the shadow here for July. So tell me more about that. Oops. Let's use this deck. Clarify that more, please. What is that Moon to the Ace of Wands to the 5 of Cups for July? One more shuffle. Thank you. The King of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Page of Cups. So there we see you assessing again. Tell me more about this, please. King of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. One more shuffle. Thank you. We'll take it. We have the 9 of Cups. We have the Devil. And we have the 8 of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Strength card. be careful, because come July, this person is matching your energy. However, you showed up as an emperor or empress. I don't read body parts. They're just showing up in king and queen energy. So they're trying to match your energy, but they're not exactly where you're at. Once things start feeling really good and reciprocal, and for some of you, there's like, if this is a romantic partner, passion is restored, intimacy is restored, phone calls, text messages, and for others of you, like actual in person intimacy, you're going to have a tendency to default back to that toxic attachment style that you had. So this is something you're going to have to watch out for in July. After 30 or 45 days of everything going well here, you might default back to that because you're feeling so good. So you're going to have to stay strong and hold those boundaries. This person needs to be disciplined enough to not crush your boundaries, but you need to be disciplined enough to continue to hold them. All right, let's get you some cards here. Can we have cards for this person's intentions? Let's do that one card each thing. I forgot whose sign I did that for. We'll save that for advice. I forgot who I did that for. Maybe it was the Taurus reading. I don't remember. But let's get one card if this is a friend or a family member, okay? If this is a friend or a family member, can we get one card? One more shuffle. Thank you. Friends or family member, Three of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have the Emperor. Clarify the Three of Cups. One more shuffle. Thank you. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Swords. In the After Tarot deck, the Seven of Swords, the person is moving forward. This is Aquarian energy. They're very mindful to not repeat a mistake. So there's something here about, I am engaging with this person again. I am nurturing this connection. I'm actually very happy to reunite with this friend or this family member, but I'm a little emotionally detached, Aquarian energy, because I'm not quite sure if this person's going to repeat past negative behaviors or patterns. One card here if this is someone in the workplace. And again, you could be your customers, your clients, your coworkers, vendors, your boss that you've had this issue with. One more shuffle here. Thank you. If this is professional in nature, we have the Knight of Wands. Bottom of the deck, we have Page of Pentacles. Please clarify this energy further for a professional connection. One more shuffle. Thank you. Knight of Wands is clarified by the Emperor. Bottom of the deck, Eight of Wands. So if this is your boss or someone of authority at work, there is a lot of communication between you and this person. This person is actually really glad that the two of you were able to take care of this, or able to, like, I don't know, extend this olive branch to one another. I just want you to be mindful that if this is a higher up, which I assume it is because they came out in Emperor energy, they're actually not an emperor. They're emperor by title, because they're your boss or your manager or something like that. They're not emperor by trade. They're emperor by title. They're actually a page and a knight. But they are glad for the reconnection, and there is communication here between you and this individual. So I don't see you losing your job just because you address this issue with the boss. So for some of you, you are addressing an issue at work where you feel like you were not paid adequately or treated fairly. And again, I think you're keeping your job and you're moving forward. It's just your boss is not as mature as you are. Let's get a card here for those of you where this is a romantic partner. One card here. Thank you. We have the World card. This would be the person that you had the ending with, but also someone that you've learned this very valuable lesson with. King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. And can we get one card here to clarify that World card? One more shuffle. Thank you. The World card is clarified by the Five of Swords, and bottom of the deck, the Hierophant. You're very guarded. You're moving forward with this person, but you're very guarded. Things really need to be on par. You have to both want the same thing for the relationship, and you're ready to defend your position on this. We have the Hierophant, the Queen of Swords, and Justice. There you are again with that Justice card. So you're very observant towards this person, and maybe even a little emotionally protective of yourself at this time. The Queen of Swords, not in this deck, but in other decks, she actually has her heart in a little cage. So I just feel like you're a little bit emotionally reserved. You're not being as emotionally vulnerable with this person. And again, it's like you're gearing up for them to, I don't want to say misbehave, but not respect you again or not be reciprocal. King of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the Page of Wands. This person has a lot to learn. But again, they are trying to match your energy there with that Emperor to the Empress energy. And they are trying to come in being a little bit more structured and grounded and solid. But that Page of Wands tells me they're still trying to find their way. Like they're still trying to become as enlightened as you are. Let's get you some advice here. Let's get 3 cards of advice when it comes to this person. And then 3 cards of advice about this in July, because I'm concerned about you reverting back to an old pattern. 3 cards of advice here, please, for when this person returns in June. One more shuffle. Thank you. 10 of Pentacles, High Priestess, and the Chariot. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Cups. Well, here's this person returning. Knight of Cups, 2 of Cups, 7 of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. Just speak your truth. You don't want any confusion when it comes to the connection. You want to make sure both of you are on the same page. You're looking for long-term success with this person. And again, it's only advice. You can move forward with them, but don't forget all of that knowledge that you acquired through that ending that you had, or that 10 of Swords moment that you had with them. 3 cards of advice for July. 9 of Cups to the Devil to the 8 of Wands. I feel like you could very quickly slip right back to that attachment style. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Queen of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, and the 6 of Pentacles. Don't go back. Don't revert back to that. You came a long way when it came to nurturing yourself, knowing your worth, knowing your value, knowing what you bring to the table. Don't go back. You came you're so far ahead from where you used to be. Don't allow the feel-good moment of July to set you back. Bottom of the deck, 8 of Swords. You'll just end up in that trap again, and it'll be the same loop. 8 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, the Lovers, the Knight of Pentacles. It's like we're going backwards. Look, to enlightenment. We literally go backwards to that moment of enlightenment that we've had here. So there's something here about just catching yourself in July that you don't default back to that pattern. Let's get you some oracle cards, and we'll close it out with some kippers. So you've learned a valuable lesson, Scorpio, in terms of an attachment style. You have someone here from the past returning, friend, family member, or lover, or someone currently in your life that you had a terrible 10 of Swords moment with. And you have an opportunity here to adjust the rules of engagement, if you will, to reconnect with this person. And your advice here is to do it, but to be honest about those rules of engagement. Let's get 3 oracle cards. We have hope. I'll read them to you in a second. We have hope. We have deep connection, and we have silent strength. Bottom of the deck, own your path. Can we get 3 more cards here? Fell face down. We won't take that. 3 cards here, please. One more shuffle. Thank you. Tranquil Meadow, Ancient Castle, Twilight Glow. Bottom of the deck, Celtic Chalice. Okay, hope. Hold on to hope and look forward to the future. So there is hope that this connection can be saved. There is also hope here that you have learned that lesson and that you won't be repeating it. Deep connection. Find bonds of support and love in intimate relationships and family. So I do think this is a very close soul bond, soulmate connection here in your life. And then you have silent strength. Build your power in silence, waiting for the right moment to reveal your quiet strength. And I think that's what you're doing here when you're sort of like in assessment mode for the remainder of June as well as July. You have Tranquil Meadow. Find peace and simplicity. Enjoy the beauty around you. Ancient Castle. Fortify your defenses. Strength comes from within. That's especially true for July, right? Because you're going to have to maintain that boundary with this person. And then Twilight Glow. Embrace the in-between. Magic happens at twilight. So for a lot of you, this reconnection will occur in the evening or at night. You have own your path. Take responsibility for your journey, for your part of your journey, because the reason why this was not reciprocal in the past was because you allowed it to not be reciprocal, right? Because we had an attachment issue. So it says making choices that now align with your true self and your true purpose. So carry that with you into July. And you have Celtic Chalice. Embrace emotional fulfillment. Your cup overflows with abundance, but only when you make that a requirement of the connection. I felt like adding in that last part for some of you. All right, let's close it out with 6 Kipper cards here, please, for June 2026 for Scorpio. We'll get 2 for the top row. Flipper here. We have sudden wealth, and we have poverty. I think you found your worth. And that may have been another reason why you had that attachment style. You didn't really value you. So how could you expect anyone else in your life to value you? 2 cards here for that center row. On the side, we have toil and labor. This is, do I want to work on this connection again? I'm not sure. Thief. I don't know if this person's going to 7 of sword me again. I don't know if this person's going to shank me again when I'm not looking. And 2 cards here for the last row. We have marriage. And we have official person. Emperor, Empress energy here. And marriage. So it looks like you are moving forward. You are healing, birthing, reconnecting with this person. There's now a change though. Okay, there is a change in the structure of the connection because of the new rules that you put in place. Marriage for me is just a soulmate card. So again, I think it's a very deep soulmate connection. For some of you, this is someone you're married to, or someone where this connection will lead to marriage for the 2 of you. And then you have occupation, concern, and false person. It's sort of like you're making it your job. You're making it your job to just make sure this person does not revert back to their old ways. But again, I'm going to stress the only way that that's going to happen is provided you don't revert back to your old ways. That's what I have for you, Scorpio, for June 2026. If you like that message, oh, let me get timing. Don't go anywhere. Timing for June. Okay. I wanted to look at that person's intentions for you real quick. Okay. For June 2026, what is this person's intentions with Scorpio? What are their intentions with Scorpio? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Their intentions with you. 5 of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the King of Wands. Bottom of the deck, 2 of Swords, the Sun card, and the Queen of Cups. You keep showing up here as the Queen of Cups. Bottom of the deck, 8 of Wands. This person wants to come in from out of the cold. They've done some soul searching. They want to connect, or I should say reconnect with you. And they're hoping here that you will make the decision to heal the connection with them. So right now, their intention with you is to heal this connection with you. Where it goes from there, they don't know. But I would expect communication. 8 of Wands, 10 of Cups, the 6 of Cups from this person. Again, look at that 10 of Swords. That caused you that 10 of Swords moment. I would expect communication within 8 days of you seeing this reading, or within the first 8 days of June, since it actually is a June reading. That is what I have for you, Scorpio. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of them, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video on your mobile device if you're able to do that. And until I read for you again, good luck, stay firm in those boundaries. And as always, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace.